Good day sa lahat, no? Sa lahat, I would like to remind you that this video is unlisted in YouTube. Therefore, you cannot search this. You can only access this with the link I sent you on Quipper or in GC. So, for our last topic sa ating subject sa Layer 4, we will be talking about crime mapping with crime analysis. First off, with crime mapping. So, in definition, crime mapping is the act done by law enforcement agencies for graphically representing where crime occur within the respective jurisdictions. Kailangan tandaan with regards to crime mapping, keywords, kumbaga, is graphically representing or graphical representation. There is an image, there is a illustration, drawing, picture, image, kung ano mang gusto niyong tawag. And the image indicates where the crime occur in their jurisdiction. It answers the questions, what crime occurs in what area in our jurisdictions. Yun, sinasagot ng crime mapping yung tanong na yun. So moving on, bakit ba kailangan ng bakit ba kailangan ng crime mapping? Ano ba yung importance niya? So it enables the police in the following capabilities. Number 1, analyze and correlate wide array of data to create immediate detailed visuals of crime patterns. So tandaan nyo po, pag sinabing analyze, binibreakdown, and pag sinabi namang correlate, binibigay yung dinidescribe yung relationship. So binibreakdown and dinidescribe yung relationships ng yung ng iba't ibang data from different kinds of resources para magkaroon ng graphical representation ng crime patterns dun sa jurisdiction. Number 2, it helped direct patrols as to places they are most needed. So katulad nung sa pinag-usapan natin sa patrol operations, since isa sa magandang patrol strategy is to put the resources or manpower to the areas where crimes are most likely to occur. Crime mapping din po yung kailangan para makapag-deploy tayo or magamit natin yung strategy na yun. Number 3, chart trends in criminal activity. So bukod sa nakalagay kung anong krimen ang nangyayari kung saang lugar, nilalagay rin po sa crime mapping kasi on how often does it occur. So bukod sa sinasagot niya na yung tanong na anong nangyayaring krimen sa ganitong lugar, sinasagot niya rin po kung gaano kadalas nangyayari yon. Okay, kung nalalaman niya kung gaano kadalas at kung saan nangyayari, na-identify niya po yung hotspot, which is number 4, identifying hotspot and criminal patterns. And isa sa pinakamalaking importansya ng crime mapping, solving individual criminal cases, such as malalaman through crime mapping yung pattern po ng serial rapist or serial killer, which then will be used to apprehend the perpetrators. Doon naman po tayo sa mechanics ng crime mapping. Number 1, first of all, it is a subdiscipline of geography. Ano nga ba ulit yung geography? Geography po is the study of places and its relation to the people. Ulitin ko ha. Ang geography is the study of places and its relationship with the people. So yun nga, crime mapping answers the question, what crime is happening where? So number 2, ayan. So number 1 po, sinasabi na ang crime mapping is more subdiscipline of a geography rather than studying crimes. Okay? Dahil sa representation and the prominent use of maps, mas malapit na discipline po siya sa geography rather than studying crimes. But it is very useful in crime prevention and crime suppression. Kaya ginagamit din po. Number 2, the use of new computer technologies instead of old pin maps. Kung siguro naman may visualize nyo to. So pag may mapa sa pader, tapos nilalagyan lang ng mga pin, yung may matulis, nilalagyan lang ng pin yung area kung saan nangyari yung krimen, depende sa mga reports na maabot sa pulis. Yun yung dating crime mapping, which is very obsolete na, and hindi po, ang tawag dito, hindi verifiable yung data. At first of all, kailangan nyo pang tingnan doon sa mapa na yun kung asan yung lugar. Ngayon, ang ginagamit na po is halimbawa is Geographic Information System, which is a software. Software po siya na nagko-collect ng data sa maraming paraan. It includes satellite imagery, aerial photography, ground surveys. Ang ang tandaan nyo po, ang pinaka trabaho nito ni GIS is to capture, store, analyze, and visualize spatial or geographic data. Spatial, pwedeng spatial ang basta. Okay, yun ang po ang pinakatatandaan nyo. It captures, stores, analyze, and visualize spatial data or geographic data sa pag-aaral at pag-iintindi ng mga crime patterns and relationships doon sa lugar. So yun po ang ayun po ang pinakatatandaan kay GIS. Kasi ang ibang mga agencies ang ginagamit naman po CompStat. Ano naman yung CompStat? CompStat, tandaan nyo, it is a performance management system used by police department. Kung ang GIS nagka-capture, stores, analyze, ang CompStat, tatandaan nyo po, ang pinaka purpose niya is about sa pagpo-provide ng accurate and timely intelligence, effective tactics, rapid deployment, and relentless follow-up assessment. Okay? Ulitin ko, sa GIS po, ang focus niyan is to capture, store, and analyze data. Sa CompStat naman po ginagamit for accurate and timely intelligence, effective tactics, rapid deployments, and relentless follow-up and assessment. Okay, doon naman tayo sa crime analysis. Predictive policing. Predictive policing is the word used for most commonly in reference to the state of crime analysis. So, so crime analysis, one of the main purposes is to predict crime. Okay. The goal of predicting policing is to take the gathered and saved data and use it to predict where and when crime will occur. It is cost effective because predictive policing looks when and where a crime is likely to occur. The analyzed pattern enables the police to identify the time and day when necessary to deploy more patrol officers. So yun yung mga gamit ng crime analysis. Pero by definition, crime analysis is the qualitative and quantitative study of crime and police-related information in combination with socio-demographic and spatial factors to apprehend criminals, prevent crime, reduce disorder, and evaluate organizational procedures. So, i-breakdown natin yung definition ng crime analysis. First, qualitative and quantitative. Pag sinabi pong qualitative, this is more on words. Pag sinabing quantitative, numbers. So, ang crime analysis is words through through interviews, ganyan, interrogations, based on word knowledge naman. Kapag quantitative, these are numbered details. Ito po yung na-quantify ng mga data. And in combination with socio-demographic and spatial factors. So socio-demographic, ayan, with relate na naman sa mapa. Pero in this case, socio, ibig sabihin society. So hindi po mapa lang, pati yung presence ng society na nandoon sa lugar kung ano yung pinapakita ng mapa. At ginagamit to apprehend crimes, apprehend criminals, prevent crime, reduce disorder, and evaluate organizational procedures. So, as I said before nga, ang crime analysis ginagamit to or is also known as predictive policing. So, pinipredict nyo kung ano yung based on the data, kung ano yung kung saan pwedeng mangyari ang krimen, and therefore your goal is to prevent it. So may iba-ibang klaseng types ng crime analysis through crime mapping. Number 1 is tactical crime analysis. Again, short term, in order to stop what is currently taking place. For example, a crime spree. It is used to identify one perpetrator with many targets or one target with many perpetrators and provide immediate response. Okay. Isa sa mga tactic crime analysis ginagamit yung mga serial killer nga. So there is one target, there is one perpetrator and many target ang serial killer or serial rapist. Basta may serial. And posible rin siya ginagamit din ng tactical crime analysis sa one target, many perpetrators. So kapag ang isang tao is meron death threat from various groups and people, so mababantayan siya mas madali through crime analysis based on the locations of those groups and individuals na siya yung target. And tactical crime analysis is the study of recent criminal incidents and potential and possible criminal activity by examining characteristics such as how, when, and where the activity has occurred, to assist in problem solving by developing patterns and trends, identifying investigative leads, suspect, and clearing cases. So, yun yung number 1, tactical crime analysis. Of course, tatandaan sa tactical, short term. Number 2, strategic crime analysis. Strategic, long term, ongoing issues. It focuses often on identifying areas with high crime rates and problem-solving ways to decrease the overall crime rates. Study of crime and police information integrated with socio-demographic and spatial factors to determine the long-term patterns of activity, to assist in problem-solving, as well as to research and evaluate response and procedure. So, strategic, again, long-term and general dapat. So, bukod kasi sa malalaman niyo yung data at a certain place, at a certain time, sa strategic naman, of course, dahil may data kayo every day, months, years na nakalipas, you can identify the places where crime rates are very high for the past like 5 years or 10 years. So, in strategic crime analysis, ang focus nyo naman po is the overall crime rate na for a long period of time na. And identifying kung ano yung mga pwedeng gawin sa pagpapababa nun. Example, yung ang operations na pwede dito is creating patrol operations, ganyan, planning patrol operations. So, yun yung gamit ng strategic crime analysis. Number 3, administrative crime analysis. It looks at the administration and deployment of police and resources and asks questions. Are there enough police officers at the right time and place? And then works to make the answer yes. Okay. Sa administrative crime analysis, so kung may crime analysis na, may data na tayo at a certain place and kung ano yung mga crime patterns diyan, so it begs the question, tama ba yung person na nandyan or kulang ba? So, sa na-discuss na rin natin na when it comes to patrol deployments and deployments of personnel in general, na ginagamit si crime analysis sa crime mapping sa pag-alam ng data if the number of personnel in a certain area is enough to prevent and to suppress the crimes that are rampant dun sa lugar. So, ang crime analysis may administrative purpose din. Okay? Presentation of interesting finding of crime research and analysis based on legal, political, and practical concerns to inform audience within police administration, city government councils, and citizen. Okay, number 4, intelligence analysis. Study of organized criminal activity, whether or not it is reported to police to assist investigative personnel in linking together people, events, and property. So, ginagamit din po si crime analysis para sa pagbabantay ng mga organized na criminal activity, such as dahil kapag meron na kayong data or meron nakahuli na kayo ng isa sa mga member niyan, and you are suspecting that they belong to a organized crime group, based on the data sa crime analysis and sa crime mapping, malalaman nyo kung ano yung mga connected sa kanila, such as the people na nakikita nila, the events they attend to, and the properties they go to. So, magagamit din po sa intelligence analysis. Number 5, criminal investigative analysis. Ayan, ayan na naman. Ginagamit na naman siya for serial criminals, victims, crime scenes, and physical, social, demographic, psychological, and geographic characteristics to develop patterns. So, sa iba dito, tactical crime analysis, strategic crime analysis, it doesn't specify agad kung crime na ba talaga siya, or ano pa lang siya, pending crime pa lang siya, an impending crime. In this case, number 5, criminal investigative analysis, talagang meron nang nangyari. Okay, there is already crimes, and there is someone that can be categorized as criminal already. So, ginagamit in problem solving. Sinabing problem solving, methodological process for reducing the impact of crime and disorder problems in a community. An integral component of the philosophy of community policy. So, dito sa crime mapping and crime analysis nang makikita si Sarah. Ito ang si Sarah ang pumeste sa batch nila Sir Rex sa board exam. Dahil bigla-biglang sumulpot. I don't know bakit hindi ito na topic kila Sir Go, kahit aim high siya. Kasi na-topic to sa amin kahit estudyante pa lang kami. So, in approach sa problem solving, sa crime analysis and data, one technique, one approach is SARA, which stands for Scanning, Analysis, Response, and Assessment. So, sa scanning, tatandaan nyo lang po, based on the word itself, no, identification of the problem. Inaalam pa lang po yung problema. Ayan. Recurring incidents through a preliminary review of information. So, sa scanning, generally, para meron na kayong context, no, the idea is to find the problem. Identify where the problem and if there is a problem. So, sa scanning po yun lahat ginagawa in this method. Next is analysis. Analysis, use of several sources of information. Alamin naman po yung reason behind the problem. Okay? Reason, sino yung responsable dun sa problema? Is this the community or the police? If the police, they can do something. If the community, they can cooperate with the community to do something. Now, who is affected? Sino yung naapektuhan ng problema? Where the problem is located? When it occurs? What form of problems? What form is the problem? Does the problem takes? Okay. So, scanning, ina-identify pa lang po yung problema. In analysis, you will be identifying the details about the problems na. Yes, you will be gathering information as to the details of the problem. In response, gagawa na po kayo ng in response, ginagamit din po namin ng word na hypothesis noon. Okay? Gagawa na po kayo mismo ng action sa pag-address ng problema. Responsibly focus on at least 2 of the following. At least 2. Preventing the future occurrence of the deflecting offenders. By deflecting offenders. Number 2, protecting likely victims. And number 3, making crime location less conducive to problem behaviors. So at least 2 of those ginagawa in response sa pag-solve ng problema with regards to criminal activities. So sa response, action na. Scanning, identifying the problem. Analysis, discovering the details about the problem. Response, you will be creating actions. And then next step is assessment, measurement of the impact of the response. If and in this case, you will be evaluating if the response was effective, because if not, you will be going back to the process of SARA, which the beginning of the process of SARA, which is scanning po ulit. After magkaroon ng response, you will be measuring it if it is effective or not. Inaalam pa rin po yun kasi ginagawan po yan ng report, as we said. And kapag ka-effective yan, it will be used again. Ano pa? Before and after response have implemented. So, ang SARA po, if you would imagine this would be a circular process. It goes back to the beginning after the assessment. So, ganun lang. Ganun lang naman kaikli ang natitira nating discussion for our subject. So, good luck sa darating na pagsubok. Sumalangit na ang inyong kaluluwa, patawarin kayo.